Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm not there today, but I know you're doing an awesome job for your sub. We're starting a new really short unit on multiples and factors. And the goal is that when I get back next Tuesday, we will take our test on that. So there's just two words that you need to be familiar with right now, and that is multiples and factors. One of them we've talked about a lot, the multiples in our multiplication unit, and factors is something that we haven't talked about as much, but you should have heard what a factor is before. So for a multiple, I want you to imagine in your head this kind of creepy little monster, but he's kind of happy, right? There he is. He's the multiple monster, and he likes to take a number, and he likes to make it bigger. So there's my number. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So the word multiple, you see inside of it, right, that it kind of sounds like multiply. And that's exactly what you do. So if you're asked on a test or on your, test next week to find the multiples of the number 3, then what you're going to do is you're going to think about, okay, I know 3 times 1, that's 3. I know 3 times 2, that's 6. I know 3 times 3, that's 9. So you go in order. You take the number you're trying to get the multiples of, and then you multiply it by 1, then 2, then 3. So then I'm going to multiply the multiple of 3 times 4, and that's 12. And this could keep going on and on and on, right? You have so many multiples. You have an infinite number of multiples. They go on forever. So if I want to find the multiples for the number 6, what do I do first? Well, I start with 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. And I could go on and on and on. Okay, so that's kind of the basis of multiples. You take the numbers and you multiply it by 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, on and on and on and on. Okay, so you multiply it. Then we have what's called a factor. And if you guys remember, in our multiplication unit, sorry, this is hard to hold an iPad at the same time. You have a factor. Remember in our multiplication unit, we have the vocabulary terms for an equation. This, you guys know, is the product. And then this and this were the factors. So you have a factor times a factor equals a product. So when you're trying to find the factors of a number, you're trying to find what can I multiply together to give me that number, that product. So what I like to think about as a factor, so this is a monster, right? He likes to make things bigger. Well, the opposite, we have our ninja. It's pretty good. Look at that. And he likes to use his ninja skills to take a number and like chop it up and make it smaller. Okay, so he likes to take, let's say, the number 6, and he wants to break it up into its pieces. So you have to ask yourself, I have the number 6, okay? What can I multiply together to get the number 6? And in my head, just like over here with the multiples, we went 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to think in our head, can I multiply anything by 1 to give me 6? Yeah, 1 times 6 gives me 6. Okay, then I think in my head, can I multiply anything by 2 to give me 6? Yeah, 2 times 3 equals 6. So this is your product, and you're thinking about what factors can I multiply together to give me that product, okay? And then I think 3 times 2 already gives me 6. So once you already have the number over here, you can kind of stop because you know it's going to start repeating. I don't need to put 3 and 2 because then that's repetitive. So I can stop after I put that there. So if I wanted to find the factors of the number, let's see, 18, I like to put a T-chart because it helps me kind of organize my thoughts. So I always think of, can I multiply anything times 1 to give me 18? And the answer is always going to be yes, because you can always multiply any number times 1 to give you that number, right? So you should always have 1 times that number as your first one. Then you have to think about the number 2. Can I multiply 2 times anything to give me 18? Well, yes, I can do 2 times 9. I could do 3 times 6. 4, no, I can't do 4 times anything. 5, no, I can't do 5 times anything. 6, yeah, I can do 6 times 3, but that's already here, so I know I can stop. So these are all my my factors of 18. They are easy to mix up. Obviously, I've already done it a couple times, but if you think about what's happening in each of them, you'll get it straight. So factors get chopped up. Multiples you multiply to get bigger. So you guys now in your notebooks should have this glued in if you listen to the directions. So you should have factors. 2 factors are multiplied together to get a product. This is your product. These are the factors that go into that product. You can multiply them together. You can think about what numbers can I evenly divide into that number. Multiples are the product of a given number and another factor multiplied together. So 4 times 9 is 36. So 36 is a multiple of 4. And you can find all the multiples by doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Just skip counting by that number will give you the multiples. Okay? So that's glued in on one side. Those are your notes. And now this side is a page that you now need to fill in, and you need to fill it out right now, and then after you guys have filled it out, you will start your rotations and make sure that you guys are listening to directions. Help out with the chime at 11:45 is when we do the chime to rotate, and make sure you've cleaned up so that we can get to lunch on time. All right? Have a good rest of your day. Miss you guys.